Today's friend is Nick Accardi. Nick, thanks for coming, bro.
Thanks for having me, man. Truly honored.
He's a good buddy of mine, day one friend right here. I think we've been friends since what do our parents say, 1?
I remember us just being in diapers outside St. A's.
Diapers.
1, definitely.
Yeah, I was at St. A's, the school that we went to. So I left St. A's at 5th grade, after 5th grade. You stayed 6th, 7th, 8th.
Yep.
Graduated. Then kept it Catholic, which is awesome, and went to St. Joe's, right?
Yep. So since pre-K through the end of high school, private school, I was truly blessed. But funny story is that your sister and my brother and my sister all went to St. A's as well, too, so we kind of kept it going.
Yeah, thank God for that. That's how we met.
Yep.
Dude, you played baseball for St. Joe's, right?
Baseball, yep.
What was it like playing for them? Did you know you wanted to play baseball off the rip?
Always. I feel like ever since our dads introduced us to a sport, it was always baseball, basketball, but baseball was always the number one thing that I loved. And, I always wanted to play in high school, always wanted to play in college as well, too. But St. Joe's is really where the fun was. We played South Brunswick. We were to play different schools in the county. We always dominated because that's how we did it, in the St. Joe's way. But it was a great time, and then just making that step from T-ball, then we played in rec, and then to high school baseball was a good time.
Yeah, you played travel, though, right?
I did play travel.
Yeah. We were on the same rec teams, basketball too, but same rec baseball teams, and you played travel, and then you took it high school, and then St. Joseph's, and then how'd you decide where you went to college?
I've always wanted to go to school in New England, right? I wanted to go to school in Boston. I looked at BC, BU, University of Rhode Island. Really, there was something about URI. It had a great business school, which I majored in. I wanted to try out for the baseball team. It just never really worked out. But, I always wanted to go to school in New England, and then URI just kind of stuck.
You visited once?
I visited URI once, and then I told my parents, this is the school I want to go to. And then I got in, and then the rest is history.
Wow. How is it going to school in that area?
It's great. Growing up, we're always used to kids around here, Jersey, New York, and then you got your New Englanders up there. They're interesting guys, but I met some lifelong friends up there.
Uh-huh.
The weather was a little We were right along the water, so it was always raining, snowy, windy, but there was a lot of things to do. They had good seafood up there. Lobster rolls, I don't know if you ever had them, but lobster rolls are great. Just the luxury of being right by the beach too, even though during the school year it was fall, winter, couldn't really maximize the beach like you could in the summer, but it was just beautiful. It's a beautiful town, beautiful state.
What is that, 4 hours?
From here, about 4 hours. So the drive's just ingrained in the back of my head. You hop on the Parkway, go over the Tappan Zee, 95, Merritt Parkway. If 95 is too much traffic, you hover over to the Merritt Parkway and then direct shot.
I feel like you're a traffic guy, right? Because you probably use Waze so much going to college and visiting people that you know how to navigate the roads.
Yeah. Definitely the first couple years when I had my license and, when I was able to drive up to URI, I needed Waze, but then, like I said, it's just ingrained in the back of my head now. When I go up, I know exactly what routes I got to go to. Mm-hmm. What streets, what highways, what exits I got to take. So you've been up there though, so you know how it is.
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah.
Is Oktoberfest something that's popular in the New England area? Is it, or is that everywhere?
I'd say St. Patrick's Day is probably the most popular day in the New England area.
That's coming up this month.
It is coming up. It actually might be this weekend where most people celebrate it up there because being St. Patrick's Day is next week. Mm-hmm. We would always go to Newport. You had a guest appearance up there. We had a great time. Newport, Rhode Island is just known for, they have a bunch of Irish bars, and there's always a parade going on, and people just drink and have fun, roam around the streets, bar hop. That was always a great time. That was the staple whenever March came around up in URI. Everyone, we would party the night before, and then the next day we would all go up to Newport and have some fun up there. But Oktoberfest, it was pretty popular. I feel like Oktoberfest is popular everywhere, though. You know?
Yeah. How far is Newport from URI?
I'd say about a 20-minute drive.
That's not bad.
And then I can't remember if Ubers were really a thing when we were in college, but they didn't really have it back in Rhode Island, so it was always a pain trying to get there. Obviously, didn't want to drink and drive, but it was always a pain trying to get up there and come back to the house.
We took buses, right? How did that work? Why did we take buses?
We did take a bus. So I actually forgot about that. So thankfully, the school offered buses just to pick everyone up in Narragansett, where everyone lived, and then we just took a 20-minute drive to Newport, and then brought us back. I actually forgot about that. That's a good point.
Yeah, that was fun. Did you were in a frat, right? Fraternity?
Yes, I was.
Which one?
SIGAP.
SIGAP. Did you know you wanted to do that?
Honestly, no.
Yeah.
My first semester at URI, I was just like, there's no way I'm rushing a frat. I didn't want to. I didn't want to pay for friends. But it was actually much more than that. I was just kind of saying that. You develop relationships that last a lifetime.
Yeah, I forgot people used to say pay for friends. That was like a thing people said, oh, I don't want to pay for friends.
But it was great. I mean, I was the vice president of programming at the time, so we did a lot for charity. Big Brothers, Big Sisters up in Rhode Island. And obviously we had our parties, we had our socials. But it was a great way to just basically maximize relationships, have fun, just kind of rep your letters all throughout campus. And I definitely don't regret it. It's definitely a great time. And anyone that's looking to rush a frat, I would definitely,
That's awesome.
recommend it.
And you'd recommend SIGAP, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
It depends what school. It depends what school you go to.
It differs per school, right?
It definitely differs per school. It's I feel like that's every fraternity and sorority. They differ per school.
Yeah.
So it definitely depends where you go.
Do you talk to any of your brothers?
Yeah, I'm definitely close in contact with a couple of my brothers still.
That's cool.
Most of them live up in Rhode Island, so it's definitely hard to, see them every day. I talk to them once in a while.
Yeah.
We're always messaging, whether it's like group me, text messages, staying connected on Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
So,
do you feel like being in a fraternity or sorority kind of helps your social game a lot coming on campus? Like as a freshman or a sophomore, it kind of grows. It's like a cheat code to grow your social game, kind of.
it definitely is, because it's like I'm going to the school 4 hours away from New Jersey. I don't really know anybody.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say it's an easy way to make friends, but to your point, it's a great way to network, great way to kind of just share your story, tell people about who you are, where you came from, and then, like I said before, you make relationships that last a lifetime. So
Yeah, you've always been good at networking, man. This
Tried
guy's like
to.
the networking king.
try to, man. Got to know your surroundings all the time.
How'd you end up moving to Queens and from your window being able to see Shea Stadium and then working at Shea Stadium?
First of all, I wish Shea Stadium was still here. It's now Citi Field.
Oh, right. When did it go from Shea Stadium to Citi Field?
I forget the exact year.
Yeah, they took Shea down, right?
Yeah, they took Shea down, which was very sad. And Citi Field, I want to say it was like 2009, 2010. I could be wrong, but
Yeah.
I mean, that was great. That
Right.
was a luxury in itself as well too. Just literally being a 5-minute walk, 5-minute train ride from my apartment in Queens to Citi Field, and just being able to work inside Citi Field and going out the doors and seeing the whole baseball field was definitely a luxury, and was truly blessed for that opportunity.
How'd you get into working for the Mets?
Well, you know me, I'm a big baseball guy. I always wanted to work in sports. I actually got referred to that job from one of my close friends, and then I fell in love with it ever since. Just being able to work in sports, baseball. You know, we worked the 9 to 5, and then we had the opportunity to work the games 7 to 10, and then just do our job, but at the same time being able to watch, the Mets play some games. So it was definitely a great moment.
Yeah. They didn't have how many seasons did you work there for? 2?
I worked a full year.
A full season.
Full season.
They were like okay, right? They weren't great that year.
They weren't great.
Right.
They were riding off the high of making it to the World Series in 2015. I started in 2017, so I was hoping they would get to that point again, but it just didn't happen. But this year's looking promising.
Yeah,
So
They're willing to spend.
Yeah, they're willing to spend with the new owner, Steve Cohen.
Yeah.
They already got the best pitcher in baseball, Jacob deGrom, and then they got Max Scherzer too. So we'll see what happens this year.
What was deGrom's injury at the end of last year? Was it elbow or something? Or shoulder? I think it was an arm.
It might have been his shoulder.
Yeah.
I mean, they really exhaust Jacob deGrom to his, like, you know, he's throwing 100 miles an hour up until the ninth inning.
I know.
You know, and it's times where, like, he's shutting out the opposing team where there's no need to take him out unless his pitch count's going up. Like, he'll throw maybe 100 pitches every game, and that takes
really
a toll
good.
on you.
And he definitely throws the most 100-mile-an-hour pitches out
Absolutely.
of any starting pitcher.
Yeah.
Or reliever, for that matter.
And he's definitely the best pitcher in New York, and Garrett Cole's second.
Yeah, well, Garrett Cole didn't come through against the Sox, man. What are we going to do?
Yeah.
He needs to come back harder and hungrier, right?
Yankees got to make a
Need him.
splash this year, man.
He has to.
Now that the lockout's over, they need to make some moves.
Yeah, the Yankees need to make moves.
I think New York just needs a championship one way or another, whether
Facts.
it's my Nets, the Mets, someone. Rangers are looking good.
Yeah,
I think they're in the
good
best
this year.
position to win a championship right now.
As we speak, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know when this will come out, but people will know when it is because we're talking about lockout just ended. I'm sure
did.
you're happy about that.
So happy.
Yeah,
There was just no need for that lockout. And
I know.
I mean, I speak for every fan out there. It's not like it was a COVID thing, you know. It was just the MLB and the MLBPA couldn't, you know, agree on an agreement to pay players, and other things, you know, played into it. It was just a disaster. I'm happy that it's finally over.
Yeah, me too. Man, it's because it's interesting to see both sides. It's like if you can make an extra $50 million as an owner, you're gonna do it. You're
Right.
gonna do whatever it takes, right?
Right.
But on the same token, it's like, what if you are a player making the minimum, and you're fighting? And I know it's only one thing, but you're fighting for the minimum to go up $250,000.
Exactly.
You know, those are big deals to those kind of players.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. It was just, I don't know. I really didn't think baseball would start. I thought that the lockout would go probably till May or June, but opening day is April 7th, so we only got a couple more weeks.
Yeah, MLB will do whatever it takes to save those games. Now they're like, you know what? All 162, we got it. At first it was like, if it doesn't happen Monday, nah. All right. If it doesn't happen Friday, nah. But
And I like that they're bringing old school baseball back. Like before, they were doing 7 innings of, like for double headers, right? I think it was 2 games of 7 innings. And if a game went into extra innings, they had a man on second. But no, they're going back to both 2 games, full 9 innings, no man on second. But now they implemented the universal DH, so
I know.
that could be a benefit for the National League teams.
Definitely. Mets have a DH?
They do. Ex-Yankee Robinson Cano.
Oh, yeah.
Unless he
Cano
gets
DH.
traded, once this gets published, he could be gone right now.
Yeah, yeah. Was he still under contract for a little bit?
He
couple
is.
years?
He's getting paid a lot of money, and I believe he's under contract until 2024.
Gotcha.
So,
Couple more years.
yeah.
Yeah, man. The DH thing, and then they're not taking away the shift until like next year, right? They're thinking about it.
I think next year they're getting rid of the shift, which I'm happy about because it's, you know, you have players that their specialty is just pulling balls. I mean, if you're in the major leagues, you should be able to hit opposite. Like you should be able to hit everywhere
Right.
down the field. But I think they're getting rid of the shift next year. I think they're doing some other changes next year as well too. So I know the commissioner said that every team is going to play every other team in each league at least once a series.
Was that not the case?
That wasn't the case. There was interleague ball, and then I feel like a couple years ago they really started to implement, like the National League East would play the AL Central one year.
Yeah.
And then the next year, National League East would play the American League East. And
Right.
then the National League East would
Kind
play.
of like the NFL.
Exactly, like
Yeah.
the NFL. But I think next year it's just going to be sporadic. Like every team's going to play every other team at least once.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So now the Yanks with their DH, whether you want to make it Stanton, every game
Yeah. I mean,
in the National
the
League.
Yankees always know how to hit. You know, they got Stanton, they got Judge, Joey Gallo now, who's on that team.
Yeah.
Short-
Yeah, no, okay season, Gallo.
Yeah, he has to cut the
Underachieved.
strikeouts.
He does.
But I mean, you guys have that short porch in right field, and I feel like that's
right.
made for him.
It is made for him. Yeah, I wonder if we're going to, with Rizzo and Voit, who's going to play first opening day?
Yeah. Well, there's talks about you guys getting Freeman, so we'll see.
Yeah.
That'll just be crazy. You
That
guys
would
would
be
just be
Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, you guys would just be a cheat code at that point.
Yeah, if only we can pitch. I mean, we rely heavily on Garrett Cole being our number one, right? And then there's a drop-off after Cole. So we rely on our ace all year, and then we make a wild card game, and our ace doesn't come through. So starting pitching, we need
Whatever
it,
happened
man.
to Severino? I mean, he had Tommy John surgery last year.
Yeah. He
He
came
was-
back.
Before Cole even came to New York, I feel like he was projected to be your ace of the future.
Yeah.
He still has the ability to do so, but you guys have Garrett Cole now. But I feel like he would be a solid number 2 if he could just stay healthy.
I agree. Well, you played baseball for a long time. You know how injury affects baseball players, right? It's tough. It's tough when it's like pitchers and it's their arm or shoulder, right? Because it's like their bread and butter.
Yeah. I mean, especially at that level. Like, I don't know what that's like. Those guys are throwing a baseball every day for a full calendar year, you know?
Yeah.
You know, when the season goes on, they're probably throwing. I mean, if they're not throwing 100 pitches during a game, like they're doing bullpen sessions on the side, they're throwing in practice, they're throwing in the off season, so that definitely takes a toll on you. And the biggest thing is the rotator cuff.
Yeah.
You know, once that's done, you're looking at Tommy John. So
That's right. Tommy John, man. When I went to college and hoped I could throw javelin, and I had the doctor check, and he kind of assessed my arm. He was like, you might need Tommy John. And I was thinking to myself, I'm not going to get that just to throw javelin in college.
Yeah.
Because that rehab is tough for Tommy John,
tough. That's almost I feel like that's almost a 2-year recovery.
right? Yeah, full. Yeah.
Some players get it done in like a year and a half.
Right.
But if the season just starts and
Yeah.
you get that injury, your whole 2022 season's definitely done, and probably likely into 2023, at least half the season, the first half.
And then bouncing back is really hard.
Yeah, bouncing back's very hard.
You know, you don't come back and it's lights on.
Yeah. Might take some time, but there's definitely some stories where some Major League Baseball pitchers have come back from Tommy John story and they just Tommy John surgery, and they just outperform than like their skill set than when they got before the surgery. So
Yeah, there's that. Right. Just a gruesome surgery.
yeah,
But miraculous, right? Ever since the Tommy John.
it's unreal, man. How about those Knicks though?
You know, the Knicks, I think there should be some pressure put on Leon Rose for making mediocre at best moves in the offseason. I mean, he didn't give Tibbs a good roster to start the season,
I agree.
right?
I feel like every year they have the ability to make a splash, like get a star player to play at Madison Square Garden. Thankfully, everybody goes to Brooklyn. Kyrie, KD.
What do you think about the Nets being an 8 seed as we talk?
It's difficult to witness. I feel like they're a very well-structured team. I think they're a more structured team now, post-Harden trade, than they were before, definitely. Like, once Harden came to Brooklyn, I was like, big three, KD, Kyrie, Harden, no one's stopping this team. And then, obviously, they couldn't really stay on the court at the same time, right? Someone was always injured. KD was hurt, Kyrie, Harden. And they only played, I believe it was 13 full games together last year.
Yeah, it was like 16 or 7. Yeah, right.
Yeah, so
around
it's
there.
definitely hard to judge that. Like, I think they were capable of being a lot better than what they showed those 13 games. But once this season started, I kind of knew that this big three might not work out because they can't stay on the court at the same time, and all three of them need the ball. You know, Kyrie needs the ball, KD needs the ball, Harden especially needs the ball. So I'm very happy at what Sean Marks did with this trade. You know, getting a lights out shooter like Seth Curry, being that Joe Harris is done for the season, we needed that. Needed a rebound guy in Andre Drummond. And then we needed picks, right? Our next first round pick was not till 2028. We got one for next year, and I believe 2027, which is, it's spread out, but at least we have picks. And then Ben Simmons just needs to turn out. You know, I just want to see that guy play on the court, and then he's exactly what we need. We need a defender. We need a guy who doesn't need to shoot, who doesn't need to have the ball in his hands, kind of like a playmaker, and he's that guy.
No, I think I think a lot of what you say makes sense. But ultimately, it comes down to KD and Kyrie's health, right?
Yeah.
Like I've always said, I'm not worried about the external team around KD and Kyrie. Like, it doesn't matter. If they're not healthy in the playoffs, it doesn't matter.
For sure.
But if they're lights on, it doesn't matter.
It's just unfortunate, too, because at the moment, Kyrie can only play away games.
Didn't they just change it in New York City? They changed the vaccine mandate to get in, but is that different maybe for the NBA? I don't know.
I feel like it's different. I think they just lifted the mask mandate. I don't know if they changed the vaccine mandate.
They did do a vaccine
Did
mandate in New York City, but I don't know what that does for Kyrie.
Yeah, because I haven't heard any word that he's able to play home games, which is a little ridiculous because you have some players on opposing teams coming to play in New York, and you don't really know their status.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I know.
yeah, or even fans coming into Barclays, like they could be in the exact situation Kyrie's in, but he can't play games in Brooklyn.
But don't you have to be vaxxed to
go
come
in?
into the Barclays?
You might.
Yeah.
So,
But I mean, who knows what the difference is with that? That's another conversation.
yeah.
But I mean, aren't you scared that you might have to play Milwaukee round 1?
Definitely. I mean, we should have beat them last year.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Durant's
injury
foot was
stuff.
on the line. If his foot wasn't on the line, they could.
know.
A
Coulda,
championship.
woulda, shoulda.
I know a lot of things play
was
into
close.
that. I'm definitely scared because no one can guard Giannis. He's just
That's
a
true.
freak. His nickname's the Freak. He's just
Yeah.
He's just lights out. No one could guard him. I mean, you see him just dribbling the basketball up the court. My man just does a Euro step at the foul line and just lays it in like that. No problem. It's some Space
Yeah.
Jam.
I think I've seen him take 2 dribbles from half court.
Yeah,
To the rim,
exactly, exactly. It's going to be interesting. We might have the chance to play the Sixers, which
That
I'm
would be
hoping
cool.
we do,
Yeah.
because I don't like the Sixers at all. And
Well, I'm sure you agree with, because you weren't a huge James Harden fan, right? So you're happy to see him leave. Harden needs to pick it up when it matters, man. He seems to not show up most games when it matters. I mean, look, it was a regular season game, the game 2 days ago. But
that's exactly what happened to us in the playoffs. Like, he needs to show up when it matters. He needs to play defense. Obviously, I was on cloud 9 the other day when we blew out the Sixers, because it just showed that, A, we won the trade, and Harden's not really all that he's cracked up to be. I mean, you need to have a structure in order to be a successful
Yeah.
NBA team.
I would say if you beat them in a series in the playoffs, you won the trade for
yeah.
sure. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? If you beat them in the playoffs, you won the trade.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's tough, man.
I'm just excited to see Ben Simmons get on the court.
Yeah, are you anxious to see him? Like, when's he going to be ready? I
Very
heard he's
anxious.
ready.
I'm sick of seeing him on the sideline, man.
I know.
It's funny because I don't know how long he's been with the Sixers, but I've went all these years just disliking Ben Simmons, and now that he's a net, I got to root for him.
My dad always says he embraces whoever puts on the jersey, right?
That's it. That's what you need to do.
Yeah. Back to baseball for a second. You ended up working for the Mets, but backtrack. When you were playing baseball for St. Joe's, and then was it after you graduated high school, or was it summers during college when you'd work for the Somerset Patriots on the field?
That was still in high school.
In high school.
Yeah. So it was the tail end of high school, leading into my freshman and sophomore year of college. So I would go to school at URI, come home for the summer, and then I did a little bat boy gig for the Somerset Patriots, which was an awesome experience.
Who are they, for people that don't know?
Well, back then, the Somerset Patriots, they were part of the Independent League, which is basically you don't have an affiliate with any major league team. Mm-hmm. But now they're actually the AA affiliate for the New York Yankees.
Very cool.
Which just became a thing last year. But at the time, independent ball was basically guys coming out of college who might not necessarily be good enough to get drafted, so they're trying to showcase their abilities in independent ball and then hopefully make their pathway there. Or it's former major leaguers who got hurt, trying to rehab, going back to injuries, trying to rehab throughout minor leagues, didn't really have the potential or were able to stay healthy enough to stay in the minor leagues, so they kind of revert back to independent ball. And, being a bat boy, I was a bat boy for both the Somerset Patriots, and then obviously the away team needed a bat boy too, so we kind of switched back and forth. But it was cool. I got to talk to some guys like Scott Kazmir, who was a former Major League Baseball player, former Met, former Devil Ray, Dontrell Willis.
That's
at the
cool.
time, Vladimir Guerrero.
Vlad.
During his not during his decline, but basically during his tail end of his career. So that was great. And Sparky Lyle was obviously the manager at the time. So
Yeah, legend.
Legend.
Yeah.
So that was definitely a great gig.
Wow. That's cool. And then and you've just kept baseball in your heart when it goes to baseball, basketball, football, and then maybe hockey? Where do you rank the four? What do you like the most?
I'd say right now it's baseball, football, baseball, and hockey.
Baseball, football, basketball, then
Basketball
hockey?
and hockey.
Yeah, okay. Wow,
Because you
so
know my love
baseball's the one.
my love for Tom Brady.
Yeah, I know. Do you think you think he'll hop back in the field this year? Like come out of retirement?
I think so. I feel like he never really had a true retirement speech or announcement. I feel like his information got leaked from the media before he really announced it on Instagram, social media.
Mm-hmm.
But even then again, I feel like that was never a true retirement, like going away party.
Yeah.
And I feel like he just loves the game of football. I mean, my man just gets younger every time he the fountain of youth, right? You know, his ability every time he gets older, he plays better.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, listen, the argument for Brady being the GOAT strengthens the argument for Eli being a winner.
I knew you were going
with
there.
With that correlation, I'm not anti-Brady.
There's no way I'm getting away with talking about Tom Brady without you bringing up Eli Manning.
Have to being a passionate Giant fan.
I give them credit. You know, those were two big losses the Pats encountered, and
got a couple wins though.
yeah,
So
I mean that David Tyree catch was pure luck. So
yeah, it was a miraculous catch.
it was.
But that Manningham catch was unbelievable too.
Yeah.
On the
Was
sideline.
it
The different one?
Oh, it was a different one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tyree was the helmet.
Yeah,
and
Tyree was the
Manningham
helmet.
was
the sideline. Yeah. Man, you talk about Super Bowls being in a Super Bowl. I'm hoping the Giants can make some serious moves.
Yeah.
Who knows if Daniel Jones is the guy? Don't want to give him the 5th-year option. You
No.
agree on that?
I agree on that. They need to get that offensive line healthy.
Yeah.
That's what it is. They need to protect Saquon.
Mm-hmm.
They need to protect Daniel Jones if he still is the quarterback coming into this
Saquon.
year.
Oh.
He has the ability just to be a workhorse running back, and I feel like that's what he was year one, year two. But then injuries definitely, brought him a step back, and he was becoming a little bit of a third down back. But I mean, he has the ability and the capability to just be an every down back workhorse, like Derrick Henry type. But I feel like he's just got to stay healthy, and I don't know if it's because it's the O line or it's just that he's not really staying healthy.
Yeah. I think Dave Rothenberg on ESPN in the morning show with Rick DiPietro brought up a list of the past 20 years Super Bowl champions running backs and what they got paid. And like half of them were under $1.5 million. Which just means like they grow on trees kind of,
Exactly.
right?
They do.
You could find a running back.
You can find a running back. It's definitely tough to find a workhorse running back, though. McCaffrey's another guy, workhorse, but can't stay on the field for a full season. But that's the thing with workhorse running backs. If you're doing first down, second down, third down, like you're bound to get hurt. It takes a toll on your body. You're getting beat up. So
That's a good point.
It's a different breed. Like the Derrick Henrys of the world. I mean, look at him. He got hurt the second half of the season. So
No, you're absolutely right. It takes a toll on your body. So right now outside, raining, maybe a little bit of snowing. I know you're into meteorology. All right. How did you get interested in weather? Young age?
Definitely young age. I don't know what it is. I feel like dates back to being in kindergarten, Mrs. Lake's class. Yeah. I was just always obsessed with the weather.
Yeah.
When it would snow, I love the snow. That's why I like being up here witnessing the four seasons. I can't be down in Florida, just being hot, for a full calendar year. I don't know what it is. I just I enjoy examining the weather. I'm constantly looking at the weather app, seeing what tomorrow's weather holds. And
I know you are.
But it's crazy. It's snowing now, and 2 days ago it was 75 degrees.
Yeah.
Global warming
Jersey for you.
That's Jersey for you. That's
right?
Northeast for you.
I know. It is interesting to see fronts move in. I feel like you like that. You see a front, whether it's snow, rain, or nice weather coming in.
The best is the summer when you see basically a thunderstorm in the horizon. Clouds get dark.
Yeah.
See a little lightning pass by. A storm's coming.
You like that.
Yeah.
You'll send me an AV text. Check out these T-storms.
Yeah,
You'll be hyped
the T-storms.
on the T-storms. Yeah.
The best is being down in LBI. because I feel like on the island you could basically like one side of the island could be pitch black, the other side could be sunshine. You don't know where the storm's going.
Yeah, exactly. You see it coming, like overtaking where you are.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like at a young age I kind of developed that.
Yeah.
I never really got into just being a meteorologist, but
Did you ever think about that?
I did.
You did.
I wasn't good at math, so apparently you need to like be good with numbers in order to be a meteorologist. So that's when I was kind of like, all right, I don't think being a meteorologist is in my future.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting job, though. I went to school with Carly Semino, and her dad was Chris Semino, and he was the weatherman for I forget which channel, but he was like a major weatherman that you'd watch, in the morning to give the forecasts. So, yeah, weather's cool. My dad's in the weather, you know that.
Your dad,
My dad, and Mike Trout.
Mike Trout is a big weather guy.
He is, right?
Once I found out he was, I was like, let's go. But then I found out he was an Eagles fan. I'm like, all right, let's stay away from that.
Yeah, you got to stay clear of that. There's a lot of those here because we're like an hour from Philly.
Hour from Philly, hour from New York City.
Yeah.
I feel like we represent more of the New York, side of things than
agree.
Philly. You maybe go down more towards, I don't know, like past Robbinsville or Cherry Hill, a little more south. That's all Philly fans.
No, you're right. Yeah, you got to stay clear out there.
Yeah.
You got to watch your back.
Yeah, exactly.
But, man, those Sixers, I mean, I have the dislike for the Nets and the Sixers, but that Simmons trade, man, is so big because I think, look, I'm an anti-Nets guy, right? You're clearly a big Nets guy, but what I have to say about the big three is it's kind of a shame that they only got one go. You know what I mean? Because there was so much potential with them, and they only got one go. Like, I know it could work, obviously, getting Harden off, but, man, those three together.
And that's the one thing I disagreed with the trade. It's like they didn't have the ability to showcase their talents. Again, like only 13 games last year, fully healthy. I wish we saw a full season and see what that could have brought. It could have brought a championship to Brooklyn, but, it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Things don't work out for a reason, and I like this team now. I really do.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping Ben Simmons turns out to be something because I feel like we'd be borderline unstoppable.
If Ben Simmons, yeah. You're not even really counting on a big offense from him, just like an okay offense.
Defense,
Yeah.
that's really the thing that we want to see out of him is play good defense, rebound the ball.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to shoot. Just throw it to KD, throw it to Kyrie,
Yeah.
throw it to Seth, Patty Mills.
That's right.
Seth, I wish we had Seth.
Yeah.
Steph.
Yeah. Seth's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's got a little bit of that Curry gene in him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Curry 30, man.
Yeah.
He's repping the 30.
I know.
Just like his brother.
I know. I like it. Yeah, he's one of those annoying players when you play him because he'll put up like 24, but you're like, he's okay, but like he puts up 24.
Yeah. I mean, he fits the offense perfectly because being that Joe Harris was out, we needed that guy to just sit on the perimeter and shoot threes.
That's right.
And he's a clutch three-point shooter.
That's right. Yeah, for sure. Man, so we were talking about your ability to network, right? And leverage relationships. And your sister was a producer on the old AMP 92.3 radio station, right? How'd you end up working on that team, like the street team or something?
Yeah. So that was a gig like when I was still in college, and I did a little bit after college. And to your point, I was networking. My sister just kind of got me the job, and, we, at the time, it was a new station, so we would go out to events in the city. We actually went to Yankee Stadium, Central Park, and just kind of set up booths and showcase the new network. And at the time, it was a very young station, and it was a good job. I liked it.
You're on the streets, huh?
Yeah.
On the streets of New York, just like repping the radio station.
Repping the radio station, driving the van with the big 92.3.
Wow. I like that station, man. They went to alternative.
Yeah, it's now alternative.
Yeah. I liked AMP so much with Shaboy, your sister.
Shaboy, he's doing his thing out in California now.
L.A.?
L.A.
That's awesome. Who is and then Nina?
Nina, I believe she's out in Chicago.
Still in radio?
Still in radio.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm glad radio's still. I'm like one of the only people I talk to that listens to radio a lot.
You know why? Because everyone has Sirius XM.
Yeah.
So those, I guess you could still classify that as radio, but there's just no commercials. I know you mean like the FM stations, right?
Yeah, FM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still listen to FM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you get in a car and you don't have Spotify, you're a big Spotify guy,
Big
right?
Spotify. Gotta have premium.
Gotta. It's worth it. Was it 10 a month?
I think so. Worth it though.
It's worth
when you're
it.
in the gym working out, you need to be able to just play any song that you want. You know, no time for commercials. You're in the middle of a set.
That's right.
You're not trying to listen to commercials.
Nah, that's right. That's right. So if you're not listening to Spotify and you put the radio on, what are you putting on?
Well, if my sister's listening to this, I'm listening to 94.5 PST, baby, because she's still on that.
She's okay, yeah. So she's what'd she do for 94.5?
She's a producer.
Wow.
At 94.5.
Very popular radio station.
Yep. Producer Kristen. Still repping the name.
That's awesome. That's awesome. 94.5, I feel like that and the old 95.5 PLJ it was, right?
PLJ, yeah.
Z100.
We were always a big KTU family growing up, 103.5. Sometimes I like to get my hip-hop in, 105.1.
Yeah.
97.1.
Yeah. 96.5 used to be before they still are, right? Like kind of hip-hop type stuff.
Yeah, I think they're mainstream. Sometimes you
Yeah.
don't get it because I think it's out of Philly, right? 96.5?
Yeah. I don't always get it. It's true.
Yeah.
No, those are all classic stations. Didn't she fill in with like Big Joe Henry's radio station 101.5 Jersey?
Who?
Kristen. She was on 101.
101.5, yes.
Yeah. Wow. So she's been on 3 popular radio stations.
Talk about networking. She's the queen of networking.
Man, it's in your family.
That's it.
Your brother networks too. I feel like just friends.
We're a big networking family.
Yeah, man. Networking's so important because, and I was talking to Brandon and Brandon got his first trainer job where he was at a gym for 6 years because something in the sort of his sister was being tutored and the teacher knew the training manager and the training manager knew he just got certified, so it was an in the door. You hear that all the time with jobs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, you're a big Lifetime guy. That was probably through networking.
It was. Yeah, shout out Corey. Big Lifetime guy, thanks to Corey, man. My dude Corey at Lifetime, I would always see him, and I knew him from PFW, the gym I was talking about where Brandon was for a while, and I met Brandon. I knew Corey from there, and I would always see him at Lifetime, and I was just working a different job at the time at Rutgers University, and he's like, hey, if you ever want to come back to training, you know, it's here, and I could always put in a word for you. And I'm like, oh, I'd contemplate it, and one day
That's it.
I went for it. I'm like, let me try this out. Let me come back to training.
Yeah, love that, man. You have a passion for training, I feel like.
Yeah. I do, but it's interesting. It's like, and I'm sure you've done this with a bunch of things. You just need to try things, right? I feel like people are always saying, it doesn't matter what you believe in, but people are always saying, what does God want me to do?
Yep.
Like, I don't know what God wants me to do. Like, how do I discern where he wants me to go on my path? I think you just got to take a step.
Yeah.
And then when you take the step, God will say, like, yeah, the Mets is good for you. Or, yeah, you should live in New York for a little bit. Or, yeah, you should go to a college 4 hours away. You know, you take the step, and then he'll kind of give you hints.
Yes,
You know?
Absolutely. You got to watch this video. It's Denzel Washington. I forget what school he was talking at, but it's just a motivational speech, 10-minute long video that's just basically, you got to take risks in life. You got to take risks in life. You're going to fail in order to succeed. Mm-hmm. You're going to go backwards in order to move forward. It's just a video that's very inspiring, and you almost want to run through a brick wall after you see it. I'm telling you, Jay, you have to.
Is that the one where he says, fall forward?
Fall forward,
oh,
yes.
Wow,
yes,
wow.
It's fall forward.
Fall forward.
Yeah. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen clips of it. Like, they put it in stuff. You're right.
Great video.
You do want to run through a wall after that. And it doesn't go like there's an old IQ test with 9 dots.
Yes.
And in order to pass it, you got to go outside the box.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right.
Denzel Washington, man. What a great actor.
Yeah. Are you a movie guy?
I feel like I was growing up. You know,
Yeah.
I've always loved. I mean, The Godfather is probably my favorite movie. ever.
Classic.
Godfather.
Wow.
I think I'm more of a show guy. Yeah, I dabble
Yeah.
into some Netflix.
Yeah.
Recently saw Batman. That was a great movie.
You enjoyed it.
Batman was great. Yep.
Yeah.
Are you a big movie guy?
I don't go out of my way to watch movies because I just pick a different form of entertainment,
Right.
like making music or podcasting or stuff. But I like them.
Yeah.
Are you hooked on any shows?
I do want to try Euphoria. I feel like that's been getting a lot of buzz. What
I've
other
heard
show?
about
Yeah,
that.
I mean Breaking Bad. I've watched
Yeah.
Sopranos.
Yeah.
I got to
Wow.
get more into the new Netflix shows though that are coming out.
You grew up. What's your nationality?
Italian and Puerto Rican.
Italian. So great food all around.
Great food all around.
You grew up in a household where you had the mixture of the two, right?
Yeah.
And both passionate, like, cultures, right?
Exactly.
So I feel like you have that where when you go out to dinner, man, you judge food so hard. You have like a high standard of judging food, right?
Absolutely. Especially trying food out of state. You know, I went to Austin, Texas recently, and I had pizza down there, and it was just not good pizza whatsoever.
Wow.
They do have great barbecue down there, though, in the South. But
They do.
everywhere I go, it's high expectations, especially Italian food, being in New Jersey, the
Yeah.
New York area, anywhere outside of here, you're not going to really dabble into. I'm not going to Texas to have Italian food. I'm not going to California to have Italian food.
That's right. I have a buddy, Russell, who I worked with in California. And he moved to Oregon, then he moved down to Texas. And he is a chef. And he helps make amazing barbecue. He has a spot out there.
I love barbecue.
And I heard the barbecue in Texas is
It's
just
unreal.
nowhere beats it almost in the country.
Yeah. I think it's the best barbecue I've ever had in my life.
Wow.
Just ribs falling off the bone, wings, some pork. Oh,
Do you get like sides, right? Like mac and cheese?
mac and cheese, yeah. A little bit of little spinach artichoke dip,
Wow.
a little bit of I'm getting hungry now, man. A little bit of everything, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, Texas. I've never been, but the food out there, barbecue's good.
Yeah.
They don't have Italian food, right?
I mean, they do, but it's not great.
Right, not great quality. Do they have good seafood? They're not really by water.
I didn't try seafood down there. I feel
Yeah.
like they have good seafood. Probably not like the best, but
Yeah. Man. So, Rhode Island, though.
Rhode Island has great seafood.
Seafood was
New
off
England
the
in
chain,
general,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Fresh off the boat.
Yeah.
I was never a big seafood guy growing up, but I feel like once I went to
Right.
Rhode Island, I definitely, I tried some lobster, some
Yeah.
clams,
Yeah.
shrimp, big sushi guy. But I
Wow.
think that's where I really was like, all right, seafood, I could definitely get down with this.
Yeah. Wow. So, you grew into seafood more as you went out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You like sushi too, no?
Yeah, I had it last night with my dad.
Let's go.
A little
Yeah,
Midori.
yeah, I mean, during Lent, that's the only way to go on Fridays.
Yeah.
Sushi.
You have to go sushi.
Have to.
I mean, my dad always brings up, because he grew up on it, the filet of fish from McDonald's. He always talks about maybe one week I'll grab a filet of fish. We never eat Mickey D's,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
what else are you supposed to do on Lent?
Pizza?
Fridays,
Little
plain
plain
good.
pizza.
Yeah, but you love plain pizza, right? My dad loves plain pizza. And that's how you judge a spot, right?
Yep, I agree.
Like Barstool. But my dad loves plain pizza. My mom and I are like, I need something.
Yeah, you need something with
I need
it.
something. Some people call it bubblegum pizza. We have family friends from Indiana,
Mm-hmm.
and they call plain pizza a bubblegum pizza because it's just so plain.
Yeah.
And you got like bubblegum cheese. I need a little something. But what's your go-to if you can't have meat? Do you like onions and peppers, mushroom?
I would say onions and peppers. Another option is eggplant.
Yeah, eggplant's good.
Those are probably the only two options.
Yeah.
I mean, when I can eat meat, it's pepperoni. You go to Conti's, get the everything pie.
Yeah.
You got to go to Danino's, though. Shout out Di Lorenzo's. Shout out Di Lorenzo's and shout out Danino's. I feel like those are the two best spots in New Jersey.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, 10th Street in Boken, if you want to consider Boken.
10th Street, yeah.
Got to go with 10th Street.
Yeah.
Where's Danino's?
Danino's is it's in Monmouth County.
Oh.
So it's actually, there's a location in Monmouth County, but the go-to one is in Aberdeen, like Matawan area.
Okay.
And then I think their original location is in Staten Island. But they have basically, like I got a vodka pie with, your eyes are lit up just
with the
thinking
pasta
about
on it?
Nah, no pasta, but like a vodka pie with
Vodka sauce?
Vodka sauce.
Okay.
With sesame crust and vodka pizza. Ooh. Sesame crust is just
like with the
best
sesame
thing
seeds?
Yeah, it's like the best thing ever, bro.
And vodka sauce.
Yeah, it's great.
Wow. Did Portnoy do Danino's? Do you know?
I don't think he has.
Okay.
I don't really like.
I'm not saying what he says is gospel.
I don't like his grades. You know?
They're a little off kilter.
He doesn't really know. I mean, I love Conti's, but he gave Conti's like an 8.9.
8.9.
I don't
like,
think
all right, easy. Maybe like a 7.8.
Yeah,
8,
exactly.
Maybe. It's good. It's just we're not in New York.
Yeah.
Right? So we have pizza that battles New York, but New York has way more outstanding places.
For sure.
Like Jersey has like a couple scattered Di Lorenzo's, you said, Danino's.
The competitive nature is definitely more competitive in New York. That's why you have a lot of, people coming from Brooklyn. They open up pizzerias down here in New Jersey, because it's a little less competitive. But I feel like that's been a thing for so many years, even when our parents were kids, that the competitive market down here in New Jersey has definitely skyrocketed since then. That's why I always say, like, people from New York, I mean, they definitely do this. They should, like, fly down to Florida and open up a pizzeria there,
Yeah, no, you're right. And shout out to Joe's Deli in Franklin Park. Those guys coming from Staten Island, right?
They kill it.
And blessing South Brunswick and Franklin Park with Italian food for years, man.
For years. Shout out Joe's Deli, man.
That's right, man. You remember after St. A's games, or after baseball games, grabbing some subs at Joe's?
That's all we wanted to do was Joe's. Joe's were tasty.
Joe's are tasty. And then we'd hit Conti's after baseball games, These are good spots.
Good spots.
Did they have good breakfast sandwiches in Rhody?
They didn't have good bagels. That was one thing that was a miss.
Swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss. I would say overall, no.
Okay.
I think they were most known for, like I said, the seafood. They had good burgers, good lunch spots, but anything that's good here that we know of, bagels, pizza, wasn't really that good up there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird growing up in New Jersey where bagels are very high quality and breakfast sandwiches are super high quality.
Yeah.
And then you go, like I go to California, and it's like the bagels aren't the same.
Right.
And it's weird, and you go to Rhode Island and the bagels aren't the same. It's weird because you go, it's like it's a bagel. How could it lack what I was looking for?
It's the New York water, that's why. The bagels, they come from the water, and then the rest is history.
There's that dad joke that says, do you know why seagulls fly over the sea? Because if they flew over the bay, they'd be bagels. Yeah.
That's such a dad joke.
Yeah, that's up my alley.
Yeah. You're a big dad joke guy. You're going to crush it when you become a dad and you do the jokes.
Thanks, man. I think you got a good sense of humor, too. Because we grew up together and with the buddies in St. A's, I feel like we had a lot of fun growing up.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing beats, like, kickball out in St. A's, just on the blacktop. What did we do? Kickball. We did a little football. Wall ball.
Wall ball was big with the pink ball.
Yeah. Nothing beats. I don't know if you were still in St. A's. You might have left already, but in 6th grade when we defeated the 8th graders in kickball, you might have left.
No, I left.
Yeah, that
was it big?
Psh.
So you were in 6th grade, and 8th grade people 2 years older than you. You played them?
Legendary moment.
They were really good, the 8th graders? Wow.
Legendary moment. I feel like that was the highlight of St. A's.
Who was in 8th grade? Because I know the year above us. Who was 2 years above us? Do you remember anyone?
I can't even remember, to be honest.
Wow.
That was so long ago.
I know. Yeah, man, those were great times. We look back now, and it almost seems normal to go through Catholic school upbringing. Like, we don't think twice.
Right.
And then I stopped the other day, and I'm like, wow, like you said, so blessed thankful for our parents to put us through something like that.
Yeah.
Because I think it provides like a good structure, you know?
No, it
Not that
definitely
public
does.
school doesn't, but it's a blessing to go through that.
It definitely provides a good structure, and you and I wouldn't be friends if we didn't go through that, you know?
That's right, bro.
So
I know.
I feel like it was definitely different for you, right? Just from pre-K to 5th grade, going to St. A's, and then you went to, what was it, Crossroads?
Crossroads, yeah.
And then you went to South Brunswick High School, which your graduating class was probably...
Dude, it was like 2,000.
2,000?
Or 1,000. 1,000. What makes more sense? I think it was... I don't know why I can't remember, but it was either 1,000 or 2,000. Either way, it's a big number.
Didn't you have an elevator in your high school?
We did. Yeah. How big was St. Joe's?
Small. Our graduating class was probably 220.
Wow.
Yeah.
Small. So you knew people, though.
Yeah.
Like, you knew a lot of people.
For sure. It was cool because you had kids coming from every county.
Yeah.
Maybe not every county, but every, town.
Yeah.
Like, you had me, then some people from Old Bridge. You had people from Edison, Woodbridge. You had people as far as maybe West Windsor. Had a couple guys go there. Like Elizabeth, Union. We were all over.
And St. Joe's is all guys school, right?
Yep.
What were the all girls schools? Immaculata? Queenship of Mary? Bishop
No,
Bar?
Immaculata's co-ed, Bishop Bar's co-ed. Our sister schools were Mount St. Mary's
Right.
and Mother Seton.
Did you guys ever have, like, events where you hung out?
We did.
Or, like, dances?
Well, we had dances, but the luxury of those dances where any girl from any school could come.
Oh, wow.
But
So St. Joe's dance was just like, anyone could come.
St.
That's
Joe's
cool.
St. Joe's dances was basically Christmas,
Yeah. Yeah, like Jesus being born here, St. Joe's dances here.
It was the highlight of the calendar year.
Yeah.
No, we didn't really have events with our direct sister schools. Not that I can remember, at least, but
Right.
I just knew they were our sister schools because they were the only schools that was all girls, and then we were all guys. CBA was another all-guy school that we were
CBA.
we were going head-to-head with them in every sport.
What's CBA stand for?
Christian Brothers Academy.
Okay. Was
Yeah.
that near St. Joe's?
No, that's down in Homedale.
Okay.
Yeah. So we played them in baseball, basketball. Those were always our state rivals, because during sports we always played schools in our county.
Yeah.
Edison, South Brunswick, Old Bridge.
Yeah.
But every time we played states, we would obviously play any school in the state. And CBA was always that school that would always give us a challenge in baseball, basketball, swimming, lacrosse. They were good at everything, just like us.
Well, speaking of basketball at St. Joe's, Minnesota Timberwolf Carl Anthony Towns coming from that school, right?
Yeah. Yo, shout out Towns, man. Shout out gym class. We were in the same gym class.
Wow. Did he
Yeah.
body you in basketball?
He definitely, he might have gave me a body or something.
Okay.
He was, I was a senior. He was a freshman, and he was definitely, he's a freak.
Oh, so he's 4 grades younger, like 3 grades younger.
Yeah.
Freshman to senior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, 7 foot, coming into St. Joe's, shooting threes. Didn't have much of a post game. I feel like until, once he went to Kentucky, Calipari, really developed a post game for him, and then he's just one of the best centers now in the NBA.
Yeah, shout out. That's really cool that he went to your high school, man, and he was in your gym class. And you might, say here and there that you shot a couple threes over him, in some stories.
Yeah, I might have crossed him up one time.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
We'll end on, last thing I want to ask you before you leave is, what are your predictions for March Madness? And how do you feel about UConn coming in? Rutgers may get selected.
Yep.
Bryant, where my parents went to college, won their tournament. So you have a lot of local. Monmouth people will know when this was filmed. They'll play their 4 o'clock game today in their championship. How do you feel about all these local teams?
It's great. I actually have a soft spot for UConn. I mean, going to University of Rhode Island, we're not too good now. We just played our last game yesterday, but Dan Hurley, who was our coach, he basically brought that program from nothing to something. And now he's killing it for UConn. So it was a tough loss last night for them, but I do hope UConn makes it far, just for Dan Hurley's sake and your guys' sake. I know you love UConn. Monmouth, they're playing today?
They're playing today at 4. Yeah, they're playing St. Peter's in the championship.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think it's great. I was watching the UConn game yesterday and
Against Nova, right?
against Nova, and the most teams, the conference that has the most teams selected to March Madness so far, I think it's like the Big Ten, the Big East. Usually ACC's up there, but they only have five schools selected so far. But I think it's great. It's great for basketball. It's great for the college, like just college sports in general. Rutgers is.
Yeah.
I feel like every year they're getting better.
Yeah.
You know, I'm hoping they get selected too, just for Jersey's sake.
Yeah.
Jersey's sake.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when Kevin Ali had the Napier team, and then they went and won it for UConn. You're right. They took a downward. They had some off years, and Hurley's really brought them back into the discussion.
Yeah.
You're right.
How about that Kemba Walker shot?
Oh man, in the Garden. In the garden too. And funny he plays in the Garden now.
Yeah.
That situation, it hurts because he's a good dude. Mm-hmm. You know.
But in terms of predictions,
yeah, give me a hot take.
I don't know the bracket layout, but I think Gonzaga's going to get there again.
Mm-hmm. It'll probably be a 1, right?
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to win. Mm-hmm. I don't think Duke's going to win for Coach K's last year. I could see an upset in the horizon. Mm-hmm. I do like Gonzaga, though. I think UConn will probably get Elite 8. They might lose there. Rutgers, I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Iowa really showed them out.
They did.
Yeah.
I mean, they have those 4 or 5 top 25 team wins, but lost early. They're not ranked.
Yeah.
They have some bad losses. We'll see.
But if I had to predict a winner now, I think it's going to be Gonzaga.
Zags. You guys heard it first.
Back to back. Zags.
All right. We know where you're putting your money. Well, I mean, my day one homie, so much love for this dude, Nick Accardi. Thanks for coming through, my dude.
My guy. Appreciate you having me on here. Truly an honor. And keep doing it, man. Crushing it.
Thank you, bro. You'll definitely be back.
Absolutely.
For sure, man.